What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Tool Shack. It's your boy Shay T Mac here. I'm gonna get into doing a little tool comparison. It's really not a fair comparison because you got old era, which was like the 90s, and then you got like which is the early 2000s, and you got what the tech is doing now. But these here Kobalts, they are still popular among I guess you could say Lowe's shoppers. People still go in there and they pick them up. And I even heard a little whisper that Kobalt was still manufacturing tools, and they were still shipping a few through Lowe's. Now I don't got no paperwork or nothing to back that, but yeah. And this is a little bit of proof right here. This ratchet handle right here, you can see that's an updated version, and somebody bought it at Lowe's, and they exploded it. I guess it was a 3/8, and this 3/8 is 24 inches long. We're gonna get into that too. Your 24 inch long ratchets, and what are your limitations to them? What can you do with them? You know. So I just put it up here because I'm doing a little shout out to Kobalt. We won't have it upside down. We turn it right side up since it's want to be different. Yeah, just doing a little shout out to Kobalt because, like I said, I started out with the Great Neck, which is now the Duralast. So I started out with that. But this is a company that I went to as far as saying stocking, when I was stocking up tools. I went to Kobalt, mainly their ratchets and their end wrenches. I liked them. I didn't have a whole lot of problem out of Kobalt tools, and then I liked the ergonomics of Kobalt tools and the boxes. I'm gonna show you something right quick. We grab a tape measure. I don't know why I keep going out with it for a tape when there's one here. Okay, here we go. Let me get it out of here. You got Kobalt, these little boxes. I can't even see the tape measure. They're a little bit over 7.5 inches wide, 5.5. I'm just estimating, rough estimating right here, and they're probably about 3 inches thick. And I got the SAE and the metric 3/8. They both come with the deeps and shallows. And the reason I did this video is because y'all know, if y'all know me, y'all know I like ergonomics. I like when stuff makes sense. And we had already got into this and the dimensions of this box. You know, it's a 12 by with 8 box, and it's packed. It's got metric, standard, shallow, deep, extensions, wobblers, and ratchet. You got a complete socket set in this. Okay, back to the Kobalt. Now I had to do a size comparison. If this was a onesie, they'll be the same size. That'll be the same size as that Tecton box. And in this Tecton box, I can't remember. Y'all give me a little time, man. See. I think that's a 45 piece set. These here are 19 piece set. So you're getting 38. Yeah, 38. I can't remember. Yeah, 38. You get 38 pieces again, and you get. I think it's either this 45 or what. But you're getting what is it, 10, 11 more sockets, just rough estimate, in the Tecton. And with the Kobalt, if I can get it open here, you getting basically the same thing. And the only gripe I have about these boxes is this tool. You can't, you got to, you know, you got to put it in there perfect in order for it to lay down flat. But what I was gonna tell you is, this is a good setup. I don't have nothing against Tecton. I mean, a Kobalt. I never broke a Kobalt socket. Never busted a Kobalt socket. Although it's hard to find in my area a Kobalt socket that is 6 point. Most of them are 12 points. And the reason I bought these sets because they're 6 point. There's a purpose for a 12 point socket, but when you need it, you need it, and when you don't, you don't. Because I'm telling you, the 12 point socket, if it's not used appropriate, then you will be breaking out them Irwin. Back kind of hurting a little bit. You'll be breaking out these Irwin extractor bits with them 12 point, because you can round off fasteners as quick as you can put them 12 points on. I stay away from them 12 points unless I'm on a 12 point. If I'm doing a drive shaft and there's a 12 point socket, them cat engines had a 12 point, I'm sorry about socket, 12 point bolt heads on their starters and all that. Now, if you doing that and it's a 12 point, I mean, get it. And then it's a square drive that sometimes you can use your metric 12 point, because I keep some on the truck, because our motor adjusters are square drives, and you can put that square drive, that 12 point on that square drive. So it's a lot of purposes for a square drive. But if you're not using a 6 point socket on most of your fasteners, like I said, you get to know Irwin. I think Gear Wrench make a brand of these that's pretty good. And Snap-on, you can, of course, your Snap-on Mac and Maco and Blue Point and Cornwell, your high ends, you can get into spending, in the thousands for extractor bits. But I found these Irwins to be a good mid-level and a pretty decent, and I see a lot of Snap-on guys got this Irwin set in their box. Like I said, Irwin just a different kind of metal. When they Irwin makes something, there's a lot of quality behind it. And if you get some extractor bits, get you a good brand. I think Gear Wrench make a brand of them that's pretty good too. I seen a lot of guys that bought them from Tractor Supply, and they use them on the bush hog deck. And then anybody know a bush hog deck? And when you working on it, you gotta have some good tools. Everything on there is stuck, bent, or broke. So, yeah, but this is what I'm getting into, the ergonomics of these boxes. And I like the fact that Kobalt color code these. I'm a person with glasses, and a lot of time after I'm doing a job, my eyes are strained, I'm tired, and this color coding here, I like this from Tecton. They do the color coding. They wrenches got the color coding on it too, and I like the fact that it's got this laser etched. But I have known this to wear off, but it takes a lot of wear. You have to have this socket just about rubbing. Most time I ever seen it rubs off real good. Real bad is when somebody uses them as a lug wrench and it rubs on the inside of that wheel. It'll rub that off. But it takes a lot of beating. For the price what you paying for this, it takes a lot to it ain't just a cheap socket that you buy it and have to complain about it from day one. You'll be these will be well used before that rubs off. And then I like to keep it in this box because you'll notice in this box here, I can get the right. Let me get some more light. Okay, we got a little more light. If you notice down in these boxes, you got your sizes. And now, to me, some tools are just meant to stay in this box. This is the other half of this tool quality in this box. Now these sockets here, as much as I love these Tekton, they would be just average without this box. This box kind of make them better than Craftsman, make them better than Gear Wrench. For the moment, Gear Wrench, they do a lot of changing, so they both are good sockets. You know, I ain't bashing any one of them. We talking about ergonomics, and this here makes this set good. Just like this, if these sockets were in this set, they would be just an average socket, and your average mid-level sockets. They ain't the quality on Kobalt is not bad. You can't pick up a Kobalt ratchet without saying something good about it, even though this style is real dated. It's 92, it's thick, and it's a shorter ratchet. And I never had problem with this ratchet, other than it makes you wanna put it down because of that link. See, Tekton even got wind of people catching hell with it, and they went to a longer ratchet. I want to say, let's get our tape measure again. See if I can get it stretched out. If I can unlock it. Try it again. Alright, we just lay it on the table. It's small one. But there you go. You got 7 inches. That's kind of 7 and 8 is kind of common for ratchets, but I like my ratchets to be a little longer, so I don't have to put out as much torque trying to loosen the fastener. And see, that's 8 inches there. And that inch, it means a lot. But as far as just what Tekton got, what Kobalt got going on here in this setup, this ratchet compact, the boxes are compact, and like I said, it's a 19-piece set, and it offers it skips you 11/30 seconds, and it goes all the way from a 3/8 to a 13/16. If I had to change just one thing about this 19-piece set, where they had the 5/8 and the 3/4 and the 13, the 5/8, the 3/4, and the 13/16, I would have put spark plug wrenches in the place of that. That would have gave you another option. You could have used that spark plug wrench as the socket. I mean, you could have used the 5/8 as a socket and spark plug wrench. That would have made this set even better. And there's nothing wrong, again, ain't nothing wrong with this set. But that's just the 13/16, the 3/4, and the 5/8. I would have doubled them as tools / spark plug wrenches. And this box would have been totally awesome to me now, because that ain't everybody deal. Everybody might just say, well, I like it like that. And, you know, but this is my video, so I'm going to tell you what I like. Another thing that would have made this set awesome, made it a 20-piece set, if they had just integrated that 6-inch right there. Man, that'd have been so awesome, and there's room for it. But if they had stuck that in there, I would have paid the $6 more. If this was 30, I think it's $30 in Lowe's. I would have paid 40 for it, which they got a set that's got all that in it, but we talking about the ergonomics of this box. They got a set that's got the spark plug wrenches and your two, it's a 40-piece set. And it's got metric and the standards in there together. And they also 12 points. But that would have made this set so awesome. And with the small design and all that would have just put it over the top. And like I said, there ain't nothing wrong with Kobalt tools. If I ever got on here and I bashed them, which I never think I did, but if I did, I'm just setting the record straight. There ain't nothing wrong with these Kobalt tools. You can buy them. The only thing, other than just my desires, I'm still not bashing them. I'm just telling you my desire for these boxes. These are some great tool sets. They're easy to pick up in a pinch. You need a set of metrics. You just, like I said, they color coded. You got the metrics, they blue. This set here goes from a 10 millimeter all the way up to 18 millimeter. I think no skips. Yeah, 10. Well, it skipped 11, which you can use a 7/16. And that was another thing that I was gonna get with y'all on. When these two companies skip, more than likely they compensating for something that they got in the other box. Now, being industrial maintenance, I'm still using a lot of standard tools. SAE. I'm still using a lot of it. But at home, I use a lot of metric, and then every now and then we order some Taiwan or some China products that come to us as metric, and you have to convert it over as it breaks down. That machine breaks down. We change the bolts out to a standard bolt because everybody else has standard wrenches, and a lot of the millwrights don't carry an extra set of tools like I do. I love tools and I don't mind buying them. Yeah, but if I need it one time, I'm gonna buy it, and I'm gonna have it for the next time or whenever. But like I said, this ain't really a fair comparison. Other than now, comparison this to this, that's sort of in the way I'm doing it, that's sort of a comparison. But as for this Craftsman set, there ain't no way. And this Taiwanese stuff, this USA. But at the time when you had that carburetor, 350 or the what Ford had, like the 460, the 305s, the 329s. When you had those engines, they were simple. And these tool cases represented that. They simple. Now, I added this stuff right here. It's still USA made, but I added this stuff. This ratchet, this is being a standard set, this ratchet set, this socket set, and this socket set, this a metric, would have done you just fine in 1992, and probably I would say from the 50s and 40s and 30s when cars were simple, this would have done you just fine. You could just about take 3 sockets, 3 of the most popular sockets being we're gonna say 4, being your 11/16. That did most of your motor supports and all that. 11/16, 9/16, 1/2 inch, and a 3/4. You could have took those 4 tools, wrenches and sockets, and just about rebuild that car. But now these cars got Germany parts, they got Mexico parts, they got China parts, they got USA parts, and you're gonna need a socket set when you go out there. And like I said, people make a big deal out of wrenches, and but most of the time you on these vehicles, there ain't a whole lot you can do with a wrench. Most of this stuff takes sockets, specialty sockets, and yeah, you just about holding that wrench just in case. I don't know, you got to take a fan clutch off. Uh, it ain't a whole lot. I can promise you. Every now and then you got to put that ratchet down because you're in a spot where that wrench is needed, but you're not in a spot where you just have to have a whole arsenal of wrenches, because of that car is compact too. Everything in there is tight, close. So you just about using a socket, a ratchet, extension, some kind of specialty socket, some kind of special ratchet. So, I mean, back in the day, this here 88 O's or Camaro, 92 Camaro, you would have been pushing it in the 90s, because that's when a lot of the cars, 85 and 90s, when they started to convert over to metric and start to filling engine bays up, and you couldn't get certain tools. You had to buy certain tools to get certain jobs, and this here was starting to be obsolete. But right now, as of 2023, these tools here is garbage. I mean, they USA made, they quality made. Like I said, I ain't never been in love with Craftsman ratchet. They was always shitty. In the 80s, they were shitty. So I never had a good experience with the Craftsman ratchet. But I'm staying back up. Tired, worked hard last night. But that's what I want to show you. Just the ergonomics of these boxes make these boxes great. And like I said, you don't have to unclamp your socket. You can lay this flat on the ground, reach here, and 10 and go all the way up to 18. You can lay this side your creeper. You laying up under there, you change the oil. You don't know right off what size you need. You can lay there and you can try this one, try that one. I done worked on vehicles so much till I'm either a socket off or right on the money. And I don't have to just take the whole deal out. And I know a bunch of y'all the same way. You get used to it, get used to your sockets. You can just about reach in there and grab just what you need. You can look at that bolt and say, that's a 10 millimeter. If it's not a 10, it's a 12. So you that close, or it's a standard. That's a lot of things I run into, because I got cars other 90s. Some of the parts still had it may have been the 11 32nd stuff, the stuff like that, the reason why I pulled out a 10 millimeter or 11 millimeter. But I found myself not using as much standard wrenches, so I kind of peel back on what I buy in standards. If I get a specialty socket set, I wouldn't worry about getting the standard, because most of the time it's metric. But if you want the whole arsenal, you get the standards, you get the metric, you got everything covered. But like I said, I found myself using it standard tools less and less. So to save me money, I just buy the metric, and if I do need a standard, I can buy an individual one. Now, this one thing I want to tell y'all about this, and we ain't got to be up to where we can look at the tools head on, but the drawback I have with Kobalt, and it ain't always been, but it is now, this warranty is a hassle. I mean, good luck with it. And if you take it back to Lowe's, more than likely they want you to bring the whole set back. You can't just do the one socket unless you go to eBay. They may have a website that I don't know of, but I'm just gonna tell you my experience with this warranty. I have been on the phone 3 days trying to reach out to Kobalt, about this 24-inch 3/8 drive flex head ratchet, which I think is a decent ratchet. I want to buy these internals to go in here to fix it back. Somebody gave me this, and I ain't gave up on my journey yet, because I could buy a ratchet off eBay and take the internals out and put it in here, which when I bought, well, I ain't buy shit. When I was given this, I thought that I had the options of jacking. That thing stuck in there. I thought I had the option of jacking mechanism from a ratchet such as this, but this one is different. It's made different, so that is out of the question. I would have went to Harbor Freight, bought one of these for about, I think they like $12, $13 with that dual latch style paw in there and prop style paw, and rebuild this ratchet. But this ratchet here has the traditional bat wing paw, and I think this ratchet here was a 92 quick release, and you can see the quick release even made different. So maybe it's an updated, I think it is an updated version, because looking at the handle, they had a big old square handle on the old one I used to have. So this is a new ratchet. But they are warranty sucks, and I don't like any tool company that I can't just return that one socket. I look at that when they want the whole set. I don't trust that company. I don't trust his warranty. I don't trust I don't trust the company being around, because you just think about it. Every time I bust one of these sockets, and that company don't just come out and replace this one socket, they gonna replace the whole set. They losing money, man. I mean, like a dam broke. They losing money. You get this whole set, you take it back. I paid $30 for it. You take it back, you auction it off to a salvage company like Dirt Cheap or some kind of tool depot that buys these with this one socket missing, and they resell it. They're not gonna give you $30 for it, and you lost $30 in another set by giving me a whole set for one. So you done lost the $30 I give you when I bring it back. You gain the $30 back that I give you when I return this set, but you lose the $30 in the store again for the set that you just give me. And then you send this set to an auction, and somewhere like Dirt Cheap buys it. They're not gonna buy it for $30 because they got to turn a profit. So they're gonna buy this set probably for $10 or $15. And you lost then. You ain't gained nothing but $20. Well, you ain't gained 20. You just still down $20. And I don't trust a company that does that, because I know that it's not gonna be around long doing that. If you break this ratchet, that company, you need to reach out to that company, and that company needs to send you a ratchet kit, unless you done broke the shaft. But they need to send you a ratchet kit. If you broke the socket, they need to send you that 18 millimeter. They don't need to send you a whole set, and you send this set back with that one socket missing. Because whatever they do, they're going to lose on that. And I don't like the new boxes have that metal latch on it, and it's supposed to be an upgrade, but that latch is shitty. This latch here come loose in your toolbox if it catches on something. I'll show you. If you put it down in your box and it catches on something, it's easy to trip. It's not like Texas here. You got the snaps, and then they tapered so they don't catch on nothing. This is his sort of suitcase style, and if you see it hangs over, and it's just really easy to catch on something. A lot of people complain they have broke these latches. Well, this here is like I had the set of the 40, 2 sets of the 40 piece, and I sold both sets. I sold both sets because I bought these, and I found these on eBay for dirt cheap. And I decided to buy it, which I bought this in like a year before I bought that one. This is being the newest one, this metric. But like I said, I never had a gripe about them. I liked them, and I like the fact that these boxes is compact. I don't understand why they had to be so thick, which they ain't much thicker than that Ticking box with maybe half-inch thicker. But they're not bad too. They just got bad warranty. And like I said, Kobalt's still in it somehow, some way, somewhere. They selling these sets because I see updated versions of these sets, and I see updated versions of the ratchets when they show, when you go over a site now, you see it. It's got a different style of ratchet. It doesn't have this old Harbor Freight Tecton gear wrench. I think it's a Dura something on eBay and Amazon. That's the same set, but it's named Dura something. I can't remember the name. Maybe y'all can remember the name. Put it down in the comments. That way everybody know what I'm talking about. But it's Dura something. But it's the same set. Only thing is they use like this black and blue concept that color coordination that Kobalt does. They do like a baby blue, light blue, some sort of blue other than this, a lighter blue. And it's basically the same set. It just don't bear the Kobalt name brand, but it's the same identical set. They even got this updated latches, the metal latches, which I don't like. This latch had a problem with coming open, and when you bumping this box, it comes open. But it didn't. I didn't ever have it to fall all to pieces like I did on the metal latch. The metal latch, I actually had an O-ring, oversized O-ring going around the box because that latch broke, come off. But I just wanted to, give y'all some information on this that I found out on this Kobalt. Don't sleep on it. If you get the tool and you like the tool, it's a decent tool. It's a decent junkyard tool. You put them in your bag, and like I said, they are half the size of the Tecton boxes, and you know how small the Tecton boxes is. So they half the size. So don't sleep on Kobalt. Kobalt's still a mid-grade tool, something you can pick up in a pinch that won't tear your back pockets out. You can pick it up in a pinch. But like I said, stay away from the 12-point unless you just need a 12-point socket. Don't use 12-point socket. I always try to use a 6-point socket. They fit the fastener better, and you stay away from these things more often if you got a 12-point, a 6-point socket. My experiences with the 12-point socket, if you're in an angle where you can't get that socket flat, and the lighting is bad, and you can't see that socket is all the way on that fastener, when you hit it with the impact, Lord, if you use an impact, if you hit that with an impact, you is fixing to buy you a set of these. And you start out with a cheap set, saying, I just don't need that Irwin, this kind of price I don't need. But you work your way up to this Irwin by the time you get that fastener out of there. Unless you put some heat on it and then use your cheap extraction. But like I said, just stay away from the 12-point. As far away from it as you can. When you need it, you need it. But if you don't touch it. That's been my time, y'all. I just wanted to show y'all about the Kobalt brand, and the old Kobalt's still around, and like I said, it's a decent set. If you got it, use it. You know it. You know the usability of it. If you ain't got it and you think about putting the trigger on a set of Kobalt tools, I mean, just make sure that your Kobalt tool that you're buying, even the Craftsman. I see Craftsman went with the red boxes. Their boxes are okay. The tools are okay. They I don't know if they Taiwanese. I think they made in China. They're okay. Nowhere near the standards of what they used to be, which wasn't very high to start with. But they tend to do a lot of 12-point sockets too. If you any set, if you're gonna go with that doer set that I said that was on Amazon and eBay, just make sure you're getting a 6-point socket. You'll be fine. You're gonna either bust that socket or you're gonna break you're gonna loosen that fastener. There ain't no rounding and in between if you're using the correct socket. But with that 12-point socket, you're gonna either stretch that socket enough to round that bolt, or you're gonna bust that socket. So you damage your fastener with a 12-point. That 6-point, if it busts, you won't put no damage on it, because once it busts, you done. You got to get another socket. And I'd rather bust that socket than to round their head off on that bolt, because, like I said, as easy as it is to grab one of these and get it out of there, that's not the case all the time. With that being said, this is Shade T Mac, and I'm out, y'all. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Go back to my if you would, go back to my toolbox tool, the US General 46-inch. I'm almost at 20,000 views. If y'all can just get me over that hump, the 20,000 views, I'll be grateful. That's Shade T Mac, and I'm out.